guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, thank God it's Friday, guys, and also thank God that Bitcoin has support, right? Because there was a $5,000 drop on Bitcoin yesterday, and in just the last 24 hours, we have found support at, funnily enough, the exact middle of where I originally said Bitcoin was going to 54,000, and where Kelly, who's on our research team, said we were going around 56,000. We ended up dropping down to 55,500 last night, and in this stream, we're going to be talking about whether or not that is the bottom, whether or not we are going to continue and drop all the way down to 53, as is very much in the cards, or if we finally found the bottom. You know, there's a lot of FUD circulating because if you didn't know, this week is actually the largest red candle body so far ever since May the 17th. A lot of stories coming out right now like Bitcoin's down almost 20%. We're heading into bear market territory. Should you be scared of this FUD? You already know my no, you shouldn't be. It's FUD. People are trying to get you to click on their articles. We're trying to get you to click on a video, but we're not trying to scare you. We're trying to encourage you because Bitcoin has a phenomenal rest of this year coming up, and I cannot wait to talk about it. I am joined, as always, except for on the third Thursday of every month, by Tim. How you doing, Tim?
I am doing great. You know what's crazy? Yesterday, I was the talk of the meeting because everyone wanted to know about Bitcoin, what was happening, how to get invested. Jebb knows this.
It happens to me too.
It was fun because even while I was there, I actually thought of so many new pieces of content we can make for you guys to be able to share with your family members, because that's literally what it was. I just, all throughout the meeting yesterday when we had breaks, I was explaining to people what Bitcoin was, why they should use it, and I was like, freak, we need to make these videos so that you guys can then take them, because you guys know it, take it and then share it to your family and get them educated and into Bitcoin. So if you like that, put a 1 in chat. We're going to make those here within the next couple of months.
Drop a 1 in chat, guys. We got some amazing content coming up because, look, I want you guys to just know what our heart is even before we get into Friday. I always love Fridays because, you know, they're kind of chill. We get to kick back a little bit. We get to look at what the market's going to do over the weekend, but we also get to interact with you guys. Here's what we stand for. We put people over profits. It's that simple, guys, and you're not going to find a lot of that on YouTube. And by the way, you're certainly not going to find a lot of that in crypto. We want to help you become financially free, successful, and we also want to see you live a purpose-driven life. That's why we're here. But we are also joined, as always, by Smay. How you doing, Smay? You thought I forgot, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I'm here and I'm happy and I'm feeling good.
Cool beans.
I would like to shout out some 3 members.
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna shout out April Sue.
April Sue, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one. Welcome.
Army Piper.
And
Alan Carey.
Thank
you guys so much for being members. We love you guys so much. Alan, I hope your internet's doing great.
The UK.
And I love you guys.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining the membership program. It is a way that you can help to support the channel. And you can also help to support the channel by signing up for LuxAlgo and some of the other affiliates that we have down below. We do support all of them. Tim.
Yes.
Coming back to the market after the $5,000 drop we saw yesterday, what was going through your head when the market dropped yesterday? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Like, what were you thinking?
Actually, it was dropping as I was talking with one of these guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, if you bought it right now at 6, if you bought it 56. If you bought it 56 right now, like,
it'd be a great buy.
Yeah, it was great. No, and it's just another buying opportunity. I think I put on Twitter this morning, hey, if you want to sell your Bitcoin, I'll buy it from you.
Yeah, for real. No, I literally saw an article, right? And this is why I'm so passionate about showing you guys the bullish and the bearish, because I want to make sure that you guys see the bearish, but I also don't want to spread FUD. I saw an article on my phone right before we went live. Bitcoin's almost dropped 20%. Why Bitcoin might be about to go into a bear market? Well, there's a theory in the stock market that if the market drops any further than 18 to 20%, that it goes into a bear market, and people try and apply that to Bitcoin and crypto because they want to get you to FUD. Don't fall for it. We're going to show you the actual technical analysis today. And speaking of what we're going to show you today, let me give you a rundown of what the show is going to look like. We're going to kick off with our altcoin market rundown. We're going to be doing some avalanche technical analysis. Excuse me, I'm in the wrong document. We are going to be doing, Tim, do you have the document up while I fix this? Yeah. Unprofessional. We are going to be looking at, Binance Coin, XRP, and THETA. And then we're going to be moving into our first intermission there. After that, we'll be looking at Bitcoin. We're going to be doing a bunch of Bitcoin technical analysis. We have a lot to bring you there today, guys. Then we're going to be looking at a couple of news stories. Got some very interesting things coming up there. We have some interesting things coming out about PayPal and also OCBC Bank setting up a cryptocurrency, talking about the cryptocurrencies exchanges. We're going to be talking about that. Then we have a lot of stories coming up over in Ethereum, and then we're also going to be doing a snapshot on some different cryptocurrencies. We're going to be looking at Sand and Mana and Adam, well, we want to talk a little bit about some of those metaverse projects. They are some of the only gainers in the last couple of weeks here in the cryptocurrency landscape. And then we'll jump into our conclusion. I got some fun questions to ask Tim. We're gonna have a good time, guys. It's gonna be a great stream. But Tim, do you have anything to say before we get started?
We haven't done Binance Coin here in a little minute.
We have not done Binance Coin here in a little minute. Oh, wait a minute. Are we announcing the HODL Trophy winner now or at the end of the show?
Yeah, well, we can do it now. It was tragic because literally...
It was tragic. It's so
poor
close.
T-Shroom was... This morning, T-Shroom would have won his first HODL Trophy ever. He just needed the price to stay below 57,600, and it jumped above at 930. So Jebb is the winner of this week's HODL Trophy. That week's what? How many wins in the last, 5 weeks?
In the last 5 weeks, I've won 4.
Come on, Jebb.
Thank you. It was about time. Just to be fair, there was like a 2-month period there where I was not winning it at all. Oh, thank you very much, Smate. I appreciate that. Shout out to all of my fans and all of my supporters who made this possible. I very much appreciate it.
Listen,
I would like to honorarily give this to T-Shroom. He hasn't had it yet. So T-Shroom, can you come here and receive the HODL Trophy?
Well, also, I mean,
come on.
I just want to say...
no, I agree. He has to win it fair and square. None of this honorarily stuff.
Oh, come on.
You put that
I
on
think
your
he deserves
desk.
it.
No, you put that on your desk.
Okay, fine.
I will give him the honorary... He was right, just at the wrong time.
He was
I
so
did not
close.
think we were actually going to go that far down.
Well, Tim,
There's no
wasn't he like
participation
$40 from
trophies.
winning?
Huh?
Wasn't he like $40 from winning?
He's about 100 and some change.
It's about 100 and some change on
Yeah.
Bitcoin. That's like literally nothing. Anyway, guys, we are going to go ahead and jump straight into some Binance Coin because I know you guys want to hear a little bit about this cryptocurrency. There is a lot to talk about over on Binance, and it's one of the ones we haven't talked about recently. Let me try and find the chart where I have all of my analysis up. If I can't, that's okay. Let us see here. Yeah, no, this one will do right there. Boom saw. So let's go ahead and start by looking over at CoinMarketCap. As you guys know, a couple of months ago, earlier on this year, Binance Coin jumped all the way up into the top 3. It has dethroned XRP. For as long as I could remember, XRP was number 3. The order of things, the natural order of things was Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. That's gotten shaken up this year, and Binance Coin has been sitting in that number 3 place for quite some time. We actually haven't talked about it all that much, and one of the reasons we haven't talked about it all that much is because as much as I like Binance, the exchange, and the cryptocurrency does have a lot of utility, don't get me wrong, I really prefer some more decentralized options as far as decentralized application platforms are concerned, such as Ethereum, such as, Cardano. Solana has some centralization concerns, but Binance Coin and and all of its infrastructure does serve a very valid function. I'm not bashing Binance, but I personally like some of the other chains, but I think there is a good reason why it's worth $100 billion. But anyway, taking a look here at the chart, like I said, we're going to do a quick market rundown of some altcoins here to get started. In about 10-15 minutes, we'll jump into our Bitcoin. The first thing you're going to notice on Binance Coin is that just like every other cryptocurrency right now, it has this long-term uptrending level of support that has been in place since the bottom of the market back on July the 20th. This shows up on absolutely everything. Let me line up my my watch list over here, and I'll run you through this. This is showing up everywhere. On Bitcoin, there's this long-term uptrending level of support. On Ethereum, there's this long-term uptrending level of support. This one right here, I believe Solana has something similar, except it's just a little bit different the way that it's anchored. But pretty much all of these cryptocurrencies that we've talked about recently have some kind of long-term trend line that they are trying to respect. And what we're seeing right now is that there's actually 2 in play over on Binance Coin. It's got this longer-term uptrend right here, but it's currently trying to fall below it. And here's the interesting thing. On Bitcoin, we are only about 7% down from our long-term uptrend right there. Ethereum is only about like 1% down from it. You could make a valid argument that we've already touched it, to be honest with you, just by manipulating this a little bit. But Binance Coin, on the other hand, has not come even close. It has attempted to break bearish below this long-term, this shorter-term uptrending level of support. And if it did pull all the way back down to its longer-term uptrend, it would have to drop $180. 30% to the downside. So the question is Binance Coin overextended? Does Binance Coin need to have kind of a reckoning like Bitcoin and Ethereum have had? And to be honest with you guys, I kind of think it does. Bitcoin and Ethereum have had pretty major drops. Ethereum and Bitcoin have both dropped right around 20%. If we take a look at Binance Coin, it has dropped 25%, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys, it actually doesn't seem to have it. So there's two arguments to be made right here. One is that Binance Coin is also bouncing off of its local high that it set at $510 back in late August, early September. The other argument is that it still needs to have a larger correction because the rest of the cryptocurrency market is doing it. So here's what I'm seeing on Binance Coin. Here's the takeaway at the moment. Binance Coin has this support level at $500 or so. If it holds there, great. I would say it's still in bullish territory. If it starts to break below $500, I would say then it starts to enter bearish territory. It really is that simple, guys. You want to be looking for these different kind of inflection points where if the market does X, then that means Y, or if the market does A, then that means B. If Binance Coin drops below $500, I would say then that means that it's in a pretty large downtrend. At the moment, I'm kind of hesitant to say that it's going to do that, but there is an argument to be made that it could pull back down to that uptrending level of support. Tim, are you seeing anything major on there? I'm looking for RSI divergence as we're talking about it.
Well, here's the thing that I'm going to look at with the RSI divergence. I'm actually looking at the weekly chart, where I think an easy thing to do at the beginning would say that we're in RSI bearish divergence. But if you actually look at it, we played out bearish RSI divergence, and I actually think we can cancel out those two high RSI lines, and we restarted. What I'm looking at in the formation on the weekly chart is an ascending triangle.
Yeah.
That we are, I think you and I both see the same level of support. I definitely see it. And we're making our squeeze up there. There's a lot of bullish momentum on that. The volume's a little low on the weekly, but that's kind of happening in crypto as a whole.
Volume's oh my gosh, look at the volume. I didn't even see that on the weekly chart. Goodness gracious.
But if you look at the whole crypto market, we're seeing low volume, which I mean, not the little altcoins. I'm talking about the bigger ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. When in hindsight, on the weekly charts, volume is crazy low. I want to see what Binance does here, because there is an argument you could make that is an ascending wedge, but it's kind of a ugly ascending wedge that we broke bullish out of and then came kind of back into. I'm looking a little bit more at that ascending triangle. And
the thing about that ascending triangle pattern, because I saw that, the thing about that is that it would have a price target of like more than, not more than, but almost double where it is right now. Do you think that Binance Coin has the fundamental backing to add $100 billion in valuation?
So here's what I have learned about TA and crypto in general. And there are some times where we do exactly what the TA calls. But TA is not a perfect science in the sense of every time an inverse head and shoulders pattern happens, we automatically go to the exact price. I've seen it outperform the prediction. Sure. I've seen it underperform. So I'm looking at this ascending triangle and not saying that it's going to make the exact price prediction bullish that this would say, but I do think it's going to break bullish. Just because it is an ascending triangle, and this is showing you an increase in bullish movement. So still setting those higher highs and higher lows. That's what I'm looking at. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna play out the ascending triangle fully and do what you're saying. Long term, maybe years in the future, but not this bull run.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Let's go ahead and move on here to XRP. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. And by the way, how many people do we have watching, Tim?
We have about 2,300.
2,300 people watching. How many likes?
About 384.
Oof. Come on, guys. I think it's reasonable that we could get to 1,000 likes in the next 5 minutes. Do you think that's reasonable, Tim?
I think that we could easily get to 1,000 because I think definitely about half these people can definitely hit this like button. It's when we get closer to the 4,000 concurrent that I'm like, all right, let's get to 1,500, 1,600.
Let's do it. Cool beans. Well, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. It is one that I have changed my tune on slightly over the last couple of months, and I kind of want to do some technical analysis. I don't kind of want to do. I do want to do some technical analysis here on it. One of the first things that's going to jump out at you whenever you're looking at the XRP over US dollar chart is that it is in this larger pennant right here, and this pennant is getting closer and closer every single day as the march of time inevitably progresses to the inevitable heat death of the universe towards the end of this symmetrical triangle pattern. That was a sentence and a half right there. That deserves a like, if nothing else. Guys, this symmetrical triangle pattern converges at the end of January 2022, and at some point, we should be expecting XRP to break bullish out of this. But remember, there is a wrench in XRP right now. It's sitting at $50 billion market capitalization, and it's nowhere near its prior all-time high, which was set at $3.30, which is really funny. I don't know if my dad's watching, but back in 2017, my dad was like, Jebb, XRP, it's at $3.30. You've seen it's like gone up 1,000%. Like, you should buy some. And I'm like, Dad, it's overextended. That's a terrible idea. And he's like, just put like $10 in it. What happens if it goes to, like, my father was, funnily enough, the first person that I learned about this whole FOMO bug from, because he wanted to FOMO into XRP. But I digress. If it did go back to its all-time high, it would again recapture that number three position from Binance Coin. And one of the things that could lead it to do that is this SEC lawsuit settlement. If the SEC lawsuit is settled in a bullish camp, then we're probably going to have a massive breakout of this symmetrical triangle pattern. And quite frankly, we might have that happen anyway. You got to realize XRP is still sitting up here at number 7 and has been delisted from a lot of the major cryptocurrency exchanges. It is still managing a $50 billion market capitalization despite that, because whether you like them or hate them, the XRP army is pretty strong, and they do actually have a technical reason to believe that they could be seeing a large break to the upside over the next several months. One of the things that you're going to want to look at here as well is the MACD, I believe, on the weekly chart. I wanted to look at that. The MACD on the weekly chart has been sitting just trading completely sideways up here around 0.08 for quite some time. And that basically tells me that the market is sitting at an elevated bullish area. What that means is that the market is sitting up here building support at $1.07. What does that mean compared to the rest of XRP's history? Well, take a look at the VPVR here. You can see XRP had a ton of sideways movement that happened back here in 2018, 19, and 20. Now it's seeing a lot of that same sideways movement up here around $1. So that just indicates to me that it is establishing long-term support at $1, and hopefully it'll be able to maintain that for anyone in XRP. Tim, this is a question that we are all asking right now. Is XRP going to have a giant break to the upside after the SEC lawsuit is finally settled?
I think it's going to move to the upside. The definition of giant changes from person to person. I am definitely in the camp of I don't think it will be as strong as people think it will, but I do think it will be strong. And I'll tell you also why I love this is, first of all, we know fundamentally XRP has only up to go. They really don't have down to go. They have up. We're in a symmetrical triangle pattern, and we're coming bullish into that. So again, that breaks bullish. We have bullish RSI divergence form in the daily chart. Not super strong, but it's there. The only reason the MACD is bearish on the daily is because we've been moving down, and MACD is a lagging indicator with their histograms. Yep. What I love, though, is when you go to the TD sequential and the Bollinger Bands, we are both oversold on the Bollinger Bands, and we just had a green 9 flash.
We did. I see that. I showed it on my screen.
That right there.
That's a good point.
Bullish fundamentals. Symmetrical triangle pattern that usually breaks up. Bollinger Bands say bullish. TD sequential says bullish. RSI divergence says bullish. I like XRP right now.
So at the moment, do you think it's a buy?
Well, I don't, if you're doing scalp trading, like if you're trying to enter and close today, that one I didn't look at the hourly chart to go even go
I mean, I'm talking about for the
this is a great time.
Next 14 days.
Yes, this is a great time to buy.
I think you're right. I think now is a decent time to buy XRP. I'm personally not going to, but I think right now is a half decent time to do it, because I think that this uptrending level of support is going to hold. I'd kind of be surprised if XRP dropped a whole lot. It doesn't have the same reckoning that needs to happen to it that a lot of these other cryptocurrencies have. It hasn't had this gigantic rally that's unfounded. It's not 200, 300% above the 2017 all-time high. It's actually about 60% below it. So, yeah, I think we're actually sitting pretty good on XRP.
There's a comment in chat, DJ Snotcone. I don't know how you say that name. I'm pretty sure that's not even a word. But I hear what he's saying. He says, I will buy XRP when it goes back up on exchanges, but I'm not starting any more accounts. DJ, I think a lot of people are in that boat, and I think that's why XRP has not exploded yet.
Absolutely.
But for anyone who has an account, they can buy XRP. For anyone who is willing to create an extra account, the reason you'll do well to buy right now is because you'll be able to buy when no one else is buying.
Yep.
And then when it does go back on exchanges, you'll reap the benefits.
Boom shakalaka. Well, let's go ahead and take a look here at a fan favorite, THETA. You guys are always asking about THETA. It's a really, really cool project. Let's look at it over here. In fact, people are asking us to post on THETA. I haven't done it yet, but if you just go to THETA token, you can see right here, next generation video and entertainment, blockchain powered by you. This is supposed to be a decentralized way of sharing video. It is supposed to be a competitor to YouTube, and to be honest with you, I would be very happy to see YouTube get some competition. I love YouTube. I've been using YouTube for over 10 years. I'm only 21 years old, so they've been with me pretty much my entire life. If you guys don't know, Crypto Jebb is actually my 5th YouTube channel. I've had 4 YouTube channels before this, all of which collectively had no more than like 100 subscribers. So definitely the most successful one, and I'm very appreciative of all you guys. So I'm really interested in video sharing sites and any kind of competition to YouTube, because as much as I like YouTube, YouTube does kind of get complacent because it doesn't have any real competitors. They've got a parent company worth over $1 trillion, so obviously that can definitely happen if you're not careful. But Theta right now, as far as its technicals are concerned, is in a massive symmetrical triangle pattern right now, and it's kind of in a similar boat as XRP. It is sitting very close to this bottom, right around $5.50. And to be honest with you guys, Theta is a good project from everything that I can tell. Now, it is going to struggle with adoption from basic users because it has such competition in Bitcoin. So, to be honest with you, the technicals are interesting, but I actually am more interested in talking about the fundamentals here. The thing that is going to make Theta successful, but also its Achilles heel, is that it is going to be the video sharing platform that a lot of people in cryptocurrency are going to want to turn to if YouTube, keeps up with all this channel deletion stuff that we've even had to deal with. The problem is not going to be that is going to lead to a lot of growth over the next couple of years in Theta, which is a very good thing. It's going to get Theta off the ground, but it's also a bad thing because try getting the general public to use Theta over YouTube. Good luck. I genuinely, that's not me being sarcastic. I am genuinely wishing the Theta project good luck because it is going to be very, very hard and they're going to need it. But if it does manage to do this, this is easily a $1 trillion coin if it somehow overtakes YouTube, which is a 1% chance. But if it does it'd be really, really interesting. With that said, let's go ahead and check in with chat. Let's see what the super chats are saying. Tim?
Yeah, let me see here. We have one from Crit Cats. Tips for distinguishing a good project from a bad project. I find it very hard to do this. Everything looks good to me, excluding meme coins, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal. What you need to look for is does the project provide real value to someone? And in particular, does it provide real value to the customer? For example, Bitcoin provides real value to people that are seeking a hedge against inflation. People that are seeking a hedge against inflation want to look at look for a place that they can safely store and secure their assets and their money and their wealth over time so that they're not constantly losing it. Ethereum provides real value to real people, and so therefore its token price will continue to go up because there is a connection between the value of what the project is doing and the actual cryptocurrency itself. So that is what you need to look for. It is easier said than done, and it is very much an art rather than a science. I can't give you a very detailed answer in under 60 seconds, but the best thing I can tell you to do is to look for a project with a real use case and real people that are really using it.
Jay Cass said, thoughts on risk versus reward when buying metaverse land. Also, any preferred metaverse?
Thoughts on risk versus reward? Well, I mean, one of the things we teach you guys in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, which drop a 1 in chat if you're a CT2A alumni, is the risk and reward ratios when you're trading. You want to generally have a 2 or 3x risk to reward ratio. What does that mean? It basically just means you stand to gain 2 or 3 times what you stand to lose based on where your stop losses are set. So that's going to depend on the trade that you're setting up. That is completely case by case. So it's hard for me to answer that right off the top of my head. As far as best metaverse tokens and projects, I'm still getting into that space and still kind of wading into that. So I don't really want to give my opinion on that just because I don't feel that my opinion on that is well substantiated enough to want to give you guys on YouTube. But I think some of the big players like Mana, like Sand, I think they're decent projects, but I'm still looking into them personally.
Gotcha. Okay, we got another one from Guns and Crypto.
Guns and Crypto.
Good combo.
Yeah.
Thanks for always teaching TA. Caught the double bottom at 39.60 for ETH. Bought more at 39.65.
There you go. Snag some of that. Good deal. Good for you.
Elo Brown said, thank you, Jebb, for your Twitter response at Ellie Ross 18. I did reach out to support, but I haven't heard back. What's better, the HODL trophy or a new puppy?
Well, the puppy that you guys saw in my Twitter picture is actually not a puppy. She's 10 years old. Her name's Jackie, and I've had her since 6th grade. The Jackie is 100 times better. Is infinitely better than the HODL trophy.
Lasts for about a week. A puppy lasts hopefully for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, Jackie is 10 years old, and I love Jackie to death. I just figured I like the picture, so I took that picture to share with somebody. And I figured I'd put it on Twitter. But absolutely, I love responding to you guys on Twitter. And by the way, that's why I love my Twitter, is because I get to really interact with you guys, go deep with you guys, and talk to you guys in a way that I don't really get to here on the YouTube channel as much because we're pressed for time. We're trying to give you as much value as we can. So make sure to follow me on my Twitter over there at CryptoJebb. I read everything on Twitter. We've gotten to the point now where I can't read every single chat. I can't read every single comment on YouTube. I want to, but I can do that on Twitter. So definitely make sure to follow us on Twitter if you want more interaction with myself and Tim and Smay and the team and everyone.
Simpleman699. We'll end with this one. £100 donation. So
wow,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Hi guys, I heard ADA might outperform Bitcoin in the coming months. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, no, it very much probably will. And the reason is ADA is, I mean, it's a very simple reason. For Bitcoin to double, it needs to come up with $1 trillion market cap. For Cardano to double, it needs to come up with $60 billion. $60 billion is a lot of money, but it's only about 1/18 of $1 trillion. Cardano and a lot of these other projects probably are going to outperform Bitcoin. That being said, Bitcoin is the foundation of any good portfolio, in my opinion. Now, if you're just getting into crypto, all you got's $100. Go to town on some of these small caps and try and find a 1,000% gain on something just so that you can get a bigger foundation. But I think it's a good idea personally to always have some Bitcoin, even if it's only $10, just for the principle of the matter. The stacking sats mentality has never failed me, but you do have to realize you're probably always going to find bigger gains in some of these altcoins rather than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the one where you're going to find the less risk. So it really depends on your risk to reward tolerance. Cool. Well, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. I know you guys are very excited about what's going on Bitcoin. And even before we get started on Bitcoin's TA, I mean, I guess what I'm about to show you is TA, but even before we dive into the actual meat and potatoes of today's technical analysis, I want to show you something pretty cool that I tweeted earlier that someone, I forgot who it is, I'm trying to think, but I forgot who it was on Twitter in the comments, Super Chat actually a day or two ago pointed out. On Bitcoin's very long-term chart, and I can't believe I didn't never notice this. If you take a look at Fibonacci retracement, then you can see that Fibonacci extension draw from 2017's all-time high at $20,000, and then pull all the way down here to 2018's bottom at $3,000, and then look at where the Fibonacci extension zones give you. Fibonacci extension gives you a zone between 1.5 and 1.618. This is kind of the inverse golden pocket. So if you know about the 0.618 to 0.65, that is the golden pocket on Fib retracement. But if you look at the Fib extension, then take a look at this. It gives you a zone of support sitting right here that we bounced off of once and twice. I just find that really cool. And then also the next one up, which is 3.618 extension, if you take a look up here, that is literally down to like the dollar, the exact all-time high that we touched. Just take a look at this. This is crazy. Look at this. We hit all-time high at $64,886. That Fib level is sitting at $65,052. So 4 years later, it predicted the all-time high to within $200. That's just, I just love seeing stuff like that because it just validates how powerful technical analysis is. So if you guys don't believe in technical analysis, just stuff like that is the kind of thing that gives me confidence that, hey, what we're doing here every single day really does give us a good outlook on what the market might be about to do. Now, let's talk about what the market has just done. Bitcoin, as you probably know, did drop like a rock yesterday, and that's maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but it did drop $5,000. It dropped 8.65%, and the big story of the day here on Bitcoin's chart is that it's actually set a lower low below the low that we set on the 28th of October. We set a low on October 28th at $56,300. We set a low last night at $55,650. And it's really funny because I was saying a couple days ago that the lowest I could see it going is 54.55. Kelly said the lowest he could see it going is 56. It went right in the middle, and Kelly joked earlier, man, you'll probably get a perfect view of the market if you just split the difference between what Kelly and I say, because we're normally pretty close, I would like to think anyway. By the way, make sure to follow Kelly on Twitter. Kelly, feel free to put your Twitter in chat. He's got a lot of great price action and on-chain analysis over there if you guys would like to see that. But let's just kind of go ahead and run through some of the technicals here. One of the first things I want to point out is the candlestick analysis on Bitcoin. By the way, if you're excited for Bitcoin TA, drop a 1 in chat and smash that like button. Let's see if we can get to 1,500 likes. That helps us to promote us in the algorithm of YouTube. If you think that other people would benefit from this content, that's a way that you can help to spread the word. Taking a look here at the candlestick analysis on Bitcoin, you can see that there was a bearish engulfing candlestick formation that happened from November 14th to 15th. And then again, we saw another bearish candlestick formation on November 16th, 17th, and 18th, a red-green red formation. Right now, Bitcoin is attempting to have a large green candle body, but the day is far from over. In fact, It is about 14 hours from over. We need a lot more price action to come in before we can be confident that we are seeing a bottom here and a large green candlestick. You can also see we don't really see very many large upper shadows up here, which could be argued is a good thing. And you can also see that there's a lot of very large lower shadows down here. Remember how a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago, I argued that these two long upper shadows on November 9th and November 10th were bearish things because it means the bulls tried and they failed, and they tried and they failed. That's kind of what we're seeing right now. The bears are trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. The bulls are buying up the dips. That's important. That jives, I suppose you could say, with the narrative that we have that Bitcoin is in a downtrend, yes, but a lot of the people that are selling are the people that are breaking even from purchases that they made back in May, and they're scared, so they're getting out. And the people that are buying are the people that are excited about the next 6 months to a year. What does that mean? It means we're building a stronger foundation in the Bitcoin market of people that are not scared to be holding Bitcoin, but people that are excited to be holding Bitcoin. And that's really important. That's why we talk about mass psychology and market sentiment all the time, is because we want to know what the market is thinking. Right now, the market is thinking, all right, I'm kind of scared, I'm going to sell. But the people that are buying are saying, man, I'm kind of excited. This is going to 150K. And they're buying. And that's what we need to see. Anyway, taking a look here at MACD. There are obviously some bearish signals. One of them is that the MACD histograms are continuing lower. There's just a bit of an update on this. We've talked about this for the last 5 days. Nothing major to announce there, but we are continuing to the downside. We can also see over here on the RSI, which I did not mean to do that. Over here on the RSI, you can see the RSI is pulled back down to 38, putting us well into the bearish control zone. A lot of people are talking about how this might be the beginning of a bear market. Well, guess what? That happened also back over here in September, 2 months ago. And need I remind you that we hit all-time high of $69,000 9 days ago. So I know I say this like 10 times every stream, and I know I sound like a broken record, but guys, don't fall for the FUD. I will tell you, and you will probably be able to know if we're actually going into a bear market. Does it look like we're going into a bear market? Tim, do you think we're going into a bear market? Is this all FUD that we're seeing coming out of the media? I'm so tired of it. I might have a little bit of a bias here.
We are not going in to a bear market.
Okay, well, now that he said it, we're definitely going into a bear market because that's just the way the cookie crumbles in crypto, isn't it, right? Whenever you say, hey, we're going to go up, I'm going to long. Nope. The Bogdanov goes ahead and sells all of his bags and crashes the market, as the meme goes. Nevertheless, guys, take a look here at the candlestick. Also, one final thing I'll mention here on the hourly chart is that right now it looks like we could be forming a hammer. Now, this is a pretty big hammer. Don't get me wrong. Like, that'd be kind of, you'd be working out your forearms if you had that kind of hammer. That's a tall hammer. It looks kind of more like a mallet to me. But this could theoretically be argued to be a hammer, and if it does, that would be a bottoming formation on the daily chart. But looking down to the 4-hourly chart, we do have something really interesting down here on MACD. First things first, MACD looks like it's about to converge bullish. And we actually have reasons to believe that we may have finally found a bottom. And we're going to talk about a lot of that here in a second. We got some great things to show you on Lux Algo, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, this MACD converging bullish and trying to break bullish is really important. We tried to do it a few days ago. We failed. Right now, we're trying to do it again. But one of the things you always need to do with MACD and with RSI and with all of these different technical indicators is you need to zoom out. It's that simple. Zoom out. What do you see? If we zoom out on the 4-hourly chart MACD and we just take a look at how low the MACD lines are, you'll notice we did not come down this low September 24th and September 22nd on that low. We did not come down this low on September 9th. We did not come down this low on June 22nd. You know the last time we got this low on MACD? May 20th. What was happening May 20th? We were in one of the largest downtrends that we have been in quite some time. What does this mean? Well, you might not know this, but MACD could actually be read as an overbought, oversold signal, just the same as RSI. Us pushing down to negative 1600 on Bitcoin's MACD tells us that we're overextended. And one of the things you want to look for on MACD are bearish crosses that are super tall and bullish crosses that are super low. Because remember what we talk about all the time about RSI and MACD. When you buy the market, and when you sell the market, you want to be getting a good deal. It's that simple. How do you know you're getting a good deal? Well, if you're trying to buy the market, you're probably getting a good deal if the MACD is at a 6-month low and is about to have a bullish cross. That might be a good deal. Now also, let's take a look at this. Over here, let's not even look at the price action. October 7th. October 7th, the MACD was sitting all the way up here. We had a bearish cross, and then we went down. That was the highest the MACD had been ever since March 12th. I honestly don't remember what the price was on October 7th. Let's take a look at it. Let's just go ahead and draw a vertical line here. We're going to test this. October 7th, where was Bitcoin? Oh, look at that. It was sitting right after a massive rally where we rallied $14,000, 34%. It's almost like technical analysis works. Whenever you're getting a good deal, might not be a bad idea to take the deal. And right now, MACD is telling us that there's a good deal coming on Bitcoin. Same thing's true on RSI, guys. If you look at the RSI is the lowest that it has been ever since September. What happened in September? Well, that was when we hit the very bottom of this downtrend. I told you guys that the lowest I could see us going is $53,000, and then yesterday I corrected that and said, you know what, maybe $55,000, $56,000 is the lowest that will actually go. Well, Bitcoin went to $55,600 yesterday. It looks like the bottom might be in, or if it's not, it is probably very close. Here is another thing that's interesting on all of this. Right now, down here on the 4-hourly chart, you can see that Bitcoin very well may be about to form an inverse head and shoulders pattern. If we do manage to rally all the way back up to $61,000 here in the next 24 hours, that would, one, mean that the bulls they got some. They're pretty excited, right? They got some diamond hands. But two, it also means that if we do form this inverse head and shoulders pattern, we would have a price target pushing us all the way back to 67K. That would set a new higher high up here. That would be pushing us right back into bullish territory. So a lot of bullish news happening over there. Now, let's take a look here at VPVR. VPVR, as you guys know, gives us a strong level at 61,500. We've been talking about this for the last 4 weeks, but it also gives us a strong support level at 55,000, and we shouldn't neglect to look at that. This is where I was getting that $55,000 level as the top. We looked at $53,000 was based on this high over here in early September. Then $55,000 we were getting from VPVR. I split the difference on Wednesday and said I think we're going to go as low as 54,000. I ended up changing that yesterday to saying we're probably going to go to 55 to 56, and we ended up going to 55,600. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wasn't very confident that the bottom was in back here on November 16th when we hit this bottom over here at 58,006. I'm actually decently confident that the bottom might have just happened on Bitcoin. Tim, I got a lot more technical analysis to do here, but what do you think? Do you think that was the bottom?
No, I don't. Yeah, I wish. No, but I mean that rising level of support, I think we're going to touch it again, and it's not that much farther down. It's like 54,500. You know, yes, that's like $3,000, but like, look at what we just did before this. We rallied up. We rallied. I mean, how much is that? I'm going to look at the price action. We rallied 80%, and then dropped like 20-something%, and then after that we rallied. Let's see this, another 70%, and then we're sitting right around 20% drop again. I think we're close, but I think we'll drop a little bit more, and then we're going to rally again by like 80%, and that's going to put us, what's the price action of if we hit around 54? We're going to rally all the way up to
95, 96K.
Right around 100.
Almost 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guys, that's kind of what we're talking about. Look, when people say that there's a massive bear market starting, really take that with a grain of salt, because I have been in cryptocurrency for almost 5 years now. I've been in crypto almost a quarter of my life at this point. I have witnessed one bear market. They're not common. You know, it always seems like a bear market's right around the corner. They're actually very uncommon. There's only 2 major bear markets that have happened in all of Bitcoin's history. So, you know, just take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look here at one of our other indicators called Market Cipher, and it's on the daily chart. Let's take a look at what it has to say. Market Cipher is looking really, really interesting right now. The first thing that I want to show you is that we're finally seeing an uptick in the money flow right here. You can see the money flow has not been trending to the upside since November the 10th. Well, what happened on November the 10th? Let me just go ahead and get a cross right here so you can see it. November the 10th, what happened? Aha, we hit the top. The money flow started decreasing. We didn't go into negative, but it did start going down. If we take a look here at what's happening over the last 24 hours, we are actually seeing money flow move to the upside. That oftentimes is an early warning sign that you may have just found the bottom. It's not confirming that the bottom's in, but it is an early warning sign that you may have just found it. So yeah, Tim could be right. Maybe we do end up going to 54,000 like I said.
The reason I say that is because I think that right now we're in a descending wedge, and that wedge pulls us. Right now the bears are winning. Like right now the bears are a little stronger, and that wedge is pulling us right down to that level of support to be a great breaking point. So right now we see a green candlestick on the daily chart. I love it, but we're going to bump. I think we're going to bump our head on that level of resistance, come back down. We're going to then use the descending wedge, which is a bullish breaking point, and that level of support to break up. Maybe it's a little higher than 54, but I think that it would be healthy for it to do that and then go ahead and break up and continue this ascending trading channel that we're in all the way to 100, if not all the way up to 150K before we stop.
Boom. There you go, guys. Well, taking a look back here at Market Cypher, one of the other things I want to show you has to do with the other three parts of Market Cypher. Number one, the VWAP is trending to the upside. That's a good thing. That does indicate that we could be looking for a bottom. If it starts breaking above 0, you're definitely going to want to be paying attention to that whenever VWAP breaks above 0, especially when it got as low as it did, down to -25. That's a big deal. Also, on top of that, momentum's very bearish, but take a look at this. If we manage to stay above this dotted line right here, then we will be setting a higher low for the third time in a row. We set a low back over here on July 20th at that bottom, then back over here on September 31st at that bottom. If we set another high here, that's going to be a consistent uptrend with a primary bottom, a secondary bottom, and then we'd have a tertiary bottom right over here. That would definitely be a very bullish thing, and that could indicate that we're going to have another long-term uptrend, which I do think is in the cards. Tim and I were just talking about how $100,000 Bitcoin is very much possible. Now, the next thing I want to show you, and this has not happened yet, but if it does, we're going to tell you, but also you should be looking for this just in case you missed the show, which you shouldn't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If the RSIs here start trending up, and if we see a green dot on momentum right here, be paying attention, because Market Cypher right now looks like it could be a day to 7 days away from a big bullish buying signal. If you see a buy signal coming out of Market Cypher based on the way that this indicator works, that's going to be a big deal, because Market Cypher doesn't play around. Whenever it says there's a buy signal and there's a buying opportunity on daily chart, it normally is pretty dang accurate. So make sure that you be watching that, and we'll be keeping you guys up to date on that here on the channel. Now, I'm going to give you a quick, brief rundown of Market Cypher on the 4-hourly chart, because it leads into some of the reasons why I'm thinking that we may have just bottomed. On Market Cypher's 4-hourly chart, looking really, really bullish. Really bullish. Take a look down here at this, guys. RSI bottomed out at 2. Like, RSI trends between 2 and 100 on Market Cypher. If you don't know how these two lines work, they work very similarly. They don't work similarly, but you read them similarly to how you would read RSI. When they get down to 2, that means the bears are very much in charge. But when they start trending up, that means that they might be losing power. The RSI lines are trending to the upside here on the 4-hourly chart, Market Cypher. VWAP just crossed bullish. Money flow is at a bottom and just started rounding, and we just saw a green dot. All of that says that we are in the very beginning of what could be a very bullish uptrend. Now, what I do want to encourage you to look at here is that we saw a signal like this come in 3 days ago on November 16th. We saw RSI trending to the upside. We saw money flow try to go bullish. Or excuse me, money flow was pushing to the downside. I'll talk about that in a second. VWAP was pushing to the upside. We saw a green dot here. This was a signal that was trying to get you to buy, but you shouldn't have. Why? Because the money flow was pushing to the downside still. You want to see all 4 of those come into play, and one of them wasn't coming into play. Right now, all 4 of them are coming into play down here on the 4-hourly chart. That is very bullish. 4-hourly chart looking like, just from that we could be having a bullish setup. Remember the other thing I told you on 4-hourly chart? Right now, we're also about to see a bullish MACD cross. Those are just the first of a couple of different things that I need to show you guys, because there are some reasons to believe that we might be getting into very bullish territory down here on the 4-hourly chart. Now, let's go to full screen real quick. I need to pull up a couple of tweets from Kelly. Let me just go ahead and grab those from our planning document really quickly, because he's got some on-chain metrics that I want to show you guys. There are a few things to show you over here. These just came across my desk as we were talking here. The first one is this. Glassnode Alerts is providing some incredible data showing bullish underlying fundamentals. Great setup forming. Are we building a launch pad? So says Kelly over on his Twitter. Take a look at this. The amount of Bitcoin supply last active in 3 to 6 months. What does this chart mean? This chart from Glassnode is basically telling us that the amount of Bitcoin that is active on exchanges right now, able to be sold, that is moving around, has reached an 8-month low. That is important because it means that people are hodling. Very simple. That's all that means, and that is a good thing. Taking a look over here, the NVT signal is very, very low. Just reached a 1-month low. That is also a bullish signal. Whenever it's that low, it generally means an uptrend is starting. And then you can also see this over here. Ethereum number of exchange deposits has hit a low. That means that people are moving Ethereum onto exchange less and less, and that is now a 16-month low according to Glassnode Alerts. All of those are very bullish signs, and it backs up what we're saying, that the bottom is close. People are getting ready for a big rally. They're loading up their bags. Now, the other thing I want to show you here on Kelly's Twitter is this. Fundamental and on-chain metrics support is incredibly bullish. Gauge the market based on those, not just the price. Smart money follows metrics. Retail follows price. You want to make sure you're following both of them, guys. Retail excuse me, not retail, the price and those metrics are very, very important. On-chain cost basis, I'm not going to go through exactly how all this works because, quite frankly, I need to do more research on how exactly this thing works. But just looking at the historicity, which, by the way, believe it or not, is a real word, you can see every single time we bounced off of this line right here, it has resulted in a pretty big movement to the upside, and we're very close to it right now. If we went down to 50, down to 40. What am I trying to say? Down to 54,000, then we would be bouncing off of it as well. I think this is a VWAP that is augmented slightly. I need to look at this more, but basically just looking at the history here, this is a line that we want to be taking a peek at. Now, speaking of taking a peek at something, let's take a peek over at Lux Algo on the daily chart, because Lux Algo might be the indicator that is giving us the most bullish signal right now. Over on Lux Algo on the daily chart, we are still bearish and we are in a confirmed downtrend. We have a sell signal. We have a red trend catcher for the first time in several weeks, over a couple of months, and we're also bearish on the Lux Oscillator Premium. That does mean that we're in a confirmed downtrend on Bitcoin. But of course, a confirmed downtrend can last 2 days or 2 months. Just because it's a confirmed downtrend doesn't mean it's going to last for, a certain amount of time. It could last for 15 minutes for all I care, but the point is it was confirmed. And whenever Lux Algo confirms this by having a strong a buy or a sell signal come into play with a trend catcher, with the Lux Oscillator agreeing with it, then that is normally the place that you're going to see that come into play. A lot of my TA that I want to show you on Lux Algo is actually down on the shorter term time frames, but one of the first things I want to show you up here on the daily chart is the fact that we are sitting right now in the EQ cloud. The EQ cloud is this middle zone, and it almost acts like these reversal zones that you can see out here. I know there's a lot on my screen right now, and I apologize. I know it can be kind of hard to follow. Let me just go ahead and delete everything except Lux Algo right here. These EQ clouds up here are very important for finding resistance at a very extreme high. These these reversal zones at the top are very important for finding an extreme resistance level at an extreme high. These reversal zones down here at the bottom are very important for finding it on the support. But these middle levels right here, these EQ clouds in the center, give us support when we're in a trend, and they show us where the secondary trend is likely going to be forming. Guys, there are 3 types of trends in markets. This goes back 120 years to Dow theory. There is the primary trend, and then there are secondary trends, and then there's tertiary trends. We're not going to get into that, but there are primary trends, and then there are secondary trends. You can also call that secondary trend a corrective trend or a corrective wave. So whenever you see the market is moving generally to the upside and there is a corrective movement, right now what Lux Algo basically does is it shows us where the corrective movement is going to pull the market back down to, and in the same way we pulled back down in the corrective movement, not the primary movement. Primary movement's bullish. The corrective movement was bearish. We pulled back down into the EQ cloud in September. We're doing the same thing here, which means the bottom is probably somewhere above 52,000. Tim, you got something to say?
Yeah, I can't remember who asked in chat, so forgive me for not being able to give you a shout out, but someone did ask in the beginning. They said they're buying Lux Algo today, but
Awesome.
they did want to see your settings and how you set it up, because obviously
absolutely.
when you just purchase it, it doesn't look exactly the way you have it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So whenever you get Lux Algo, first and foremost, let me show you how to get it up on your screen. Go up here to your indicators and strategies. It's going to be down here under invite-only scripts. You're going to have Lux Algo Premium, Lux Oscillator Premium, and Lux Statistics Premium. I haven't used Lux Statistics that much. It is really useful, but it is the one that I don't have much experience with just yet. I'm still learning this package as well. Lux Algo and Lux Oscillator are the one that you need for my strategy. So Lux Algo and Lux Oscillator look like this. This is Lux Oscillator. This is Lux Algo. Those are 2 separate indicators that come in the indicator package. That is the Lux package. There's Lux Algo, Lux Oscillator, Lux Statistics. What you need to do to get it looking like this, because when you first get it, I believe it's going to look something like this. I believe Lux Algo is just going to look like this when you first get it. The way that you get it looking like what I have is you need to come up here into Lux Algo Premium, go into settings. You need to do the first things first. You need to go into signal mode right here, turn confirmation onto confirmation plus exits. What that's going to do is it's going to give you these little X's right here. These are telling you when you should be getting out of a trade that the buy and sell signal told you to get into. So for example, this strong sell signal has a red X down here. This strong sell signal was telling you basically to short. You don't want to just follow the sell signals and buy signals. I've talked about that before, and we'll talk about it again here in a second. But these red X's are the exits. They tell you when to get out of that trade. Then if you go here into the settings as well, you're going to want to turn on down here in indicator overlay, EQ cloud, reversal zones, and trend catcher. Trend tracer is nice, but I found the other 3 to be something that I want to look at even more. Trend tracer is useful. It just doesn't the strategy that I'm using doesn't require it. But EQ cloud, reversal zones, and trend catcher, What's up, Tim?
No, keep going. When you're done with this.
The reversal zones are right up here. That's what those are. These are going to tell you where the extremes of the market are. That is going to give you really good ideas of where the market is stopping out. In fact, when I talked to the CEO of Lux Algo, we actually met him. He talked about how like this is one of his favorite parts of the entire package. These reversal zones are great. Then the then the EQ cloud sits here in the middle. I talked about that a second ago. And then trend catcher is a way of kind of confirming or denying the buy and strong sell signals. You want to make sure you have all three of these on and be looking at Lux Oscillator so that you can use the strategy that I use. What's up, Tim?
You answered it, and you can answer it again real quickly. But I was going to ask for all of our newer viewers, because you had a conversation with Sean, the creator of Lux Algo. What did he say his favorite parts of this were? And I think you just said it.
Yeah, no. So he said that it's really funny. We were talking about the development of it, and the behind the scenes. He's like, yeah, we're like, should we release this to the public? Like, this is so good. Like, I don't know if we want to give this away. Like, I want to keep this to ourselves. But that's a direct paraphrase. His favorite parts of Lux Algo are, believe it or not the buy and sell signals. He thinks that people look at the buy and the sell signals way too much in a vacuum, and you want to make sure you're looking at the rest of it. His favorite parts of Lux Algo are the reversal zones and actually the candle coloring. So the candle coloring down here and the reversal zones are his favorite part. Does that answer that question?
That was good. And by the way, the guy who asked that question, give him a shout out, is Prankster Gangster.
That's a great
shout
name.
out to Prankster
That's
Gangster.
a fantastic name.
So.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and continue with our Lux Algo analysis. Down here on the 4-hourly chart, we got something very bearish, very bullish to talk about here, guys. This is really exciting. Remember what my strategy is with Lux Algo. You want to look for a buy or sell signal. You want to look for trend catcher turning a certain color, and then you want to look for Lux Oscillator doing something. What have we seen right now? We have seen that over the last 4 hours, and I talked about this yesterday, how there was a green dot on Lux Oscillator. You want to look. Over the last 4 hours, we have seen Lux Oscillator has started moving to the upside, and we actually saw the trend catcher perfectly call this bottom. Like, this is, just look at this bottom turn green, and it says, hey, look, we might be finding a bottom here. We now have 2 of 3 confirmations that we need to say that we are in a confirmed uptrend on the 4-hourly chart. All we need now is a buy signal, because we want to have all 3 of those. A buy signal, just after my experience in Lux Algo, you'll probably not see it anywhere before $60,000. But if Bitcoin does get up to $60,000, we're going to be in a confirmed uptrend on 4-hourly chart. That's really exciting, because it could mean this longer-term downtrend that we've been in for the last week and a half could be getting close to being over. These reversal zones down here as well, you can see that we fell down to them, and we are using them as support right now. So that's really exciting down here on the 4-hourly chart. Then looking at the 1-hourly chart, you can also take a look down here at Lux Algo. We currently have a buy signal on the 1-hour chart, but trend catcher has not turned green. So we're getting a signal on the hourly chart that we wish we had on the 4-hourly chart, but we're seeing confirmation. We're seeing 2 of 3 confirmations on the hourly chart and the 4-hourly chart. We need to see the trend catcher turn green on hourly chart, and we need to see a buy signal on 4-hourly chart. But both of them are 1 of 3 confirmations away from giving us a strong buy signal on the hourly chart. So that is very exciting, guys. Let's go to full screen again really quickly, because I need to pull up some more articles. I forgot to bring them up before we started the stream. And we want to go ahead and move here into our news stories here. Gonna just kind of read these really briefly. Not going to go into a crazy amount of detail on these. Some of these are just kind of things that I want to catch you guys up to speed on. Let's go ahead and jump back on my screen. OCBC Bank Moles? I think that might have Moles setting up crypto exchange CEO. This is pretty interesting. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail on this. If you want, you can pause and read this. Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation, OCBC Bank, is mulling creating a crypto exchange. You don't hear that word every day. Mulling creating a cryptocurrency exchange. The bank's CEO, Helen Wong, said in an interview with Bloomberg Television today. We're looking at it, and seriously, there are some work being done in the bank. Sounds like a very bad translation to me. It sounds like what they're looking at doing is launching a cryptocurrency exchange. That would be potentially a good thing. I personally would like the Chinese not to get too involved in crypto, because I don't want the Chinese government to reap the rewards of crypto, but I do want the Chinese people to reap the rewards of crypto. So I will just go ahead and give you that headline, and you do with it what you will. Also, PayPal is inches up on enabling crypto payments for shopping. This is a big one. PayPal has 400 million active accounts globally, and they're one of the largest mainstream financial companies. And as you guys know, they're bullish on Bitcoin. They love Bitcoin. They've been getting into it for quite some time, and it kind of makes sense, because X.com, which later became PayPal, was founded by Elon Musk, and you guys know Elon Musk likes Bitcoin. He likes his Dogecoin even more. But news comes as Bitcoin, let's see up here. Digital payments code PayPal is up 0.5%. in U.S. pre-market trading after it enables Bitcoin payments to shop at millions of merchants on its network. Co-launched checkout with crypto service in March, which allows U.S. users to hold their crypto. So basically what we're seeing here is that there's more development going on with PayPal. Again, just something that I wanted to read a headline of. Now, let's go ahead and move into our next intermission, guys. And let's go ahead and get ready for some Ethereum TA. Also, here in about 5-6 minutes, we're going to jump into Ethereum. But first, let's go ahead and read some super chats.
Yeah, this one, I'm going to make sure I read these names right. There's one, this is actually a really interesting name, Kryptony. So Kryptony, but Kryptony is how I'm going to read that one. Jebb, Jebb or Tree? I don't know. I don't know if any of you know this, but you should back your YouTube up to Odyssey. It does it automatically. That way you never lose everything.
Interesting.
I think it's a note for May.
Well, I think that's what he meant by tree.
I think that is what he
Yeah,
meant by
or
tree.
Tree. Okay. Yeah. If he's calling Smay Tree, he's an OG.
He's an OG. Smee the tree.
But
earlier this
also, anyways, no, we can talk about it, but I don't. Yeah, anyways, keep going. Keep going.
Good idea, though.
Good
Gabby
idea.
TC said there's a daily RSI support line on Bitcoin. We touched it again yesterday. Could it be a reversal?
I think so. No, I think the bottom is very close to coming in. And excuse me, guys, I misspoke earlier. OCBC is a Singapore bank, not a Chinese bank. My apologies on that. But no, I think a reversal is very close. I do think that we're going to be seeing a bottom relatively soon. If it's not in yet, I think it's going to be in the next couple of days over the weekend. I think next week's going to be pretty bullish.
Is there not? Cause I'm trying to make sure we didn't miss any. Because if I thought there was more than this, but maybe I was mistaken. All right, we have one. It's just a donation, so no comment from Angel Puente Reyes. Just wanted to donate £5. So thank you so much.
Hey, thank you very much.
I'm trying to go. There was a comment chat. I've been going back and forth with Nicholas Eisern, I think, asking about GBTC and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. When I was looking at the chart, it's pretty much, it's a little different, but it's pretty identical to Bitcoin's chart. No.
It's the Grayscale Bitcoin.
Yeah, the Grayscale
Trust.
Bitcoin Trust.
It is. It's very similar to Bitcoin. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're using Grayscale, then you definitely should look at it. But I don't have a reason.
Yeah,
to look at it
he had a
personally.
reason why he has to do that instead of Bitcoin because of regulations in the company he's in and a bunch of stuff. But it's pretty close.
Well, if you're in that instance, then there is a good the reason is because Grayscale, theoretically anyway, is less susceptible to money laundering, wash trading and market manipulation. So there is a legal reason why you might have to use that chart. So that actually kind of makes sense.
Here we had some new super chats come in. I have no idea what currency this is, but it's 1250 of it. Jones Fundamentalist said, "Great insights, Jebb. Need your thoughts about crypto that will utilize blockchain for carbon credits using NFTs in line with COP26. SPE Save Planet Earth apparently will launch carbon credit NFTs and Phantasma Chain. Appreciate your inputs." Phantasma Chain.
I need my thoughts on about a crypto.
Yeah, I'm confused what he's asking.
I'm not sure what you're asking, my friend. I think that what that speaks to is the fact that NFTs have a much broader use case than just art. They obviously are used big time for art, and in fact, we have an NFT giveaway to announce here at the end of the stream. We love NFTs, but they are much more useful than just art. Not to say that they're not useful in art. I'm not knocking that. I think it's revolutionary in the art world, but they've got even more use cases, and I'm first hearing about this over the last couple of days about carbon credits on NFTs, but I guess that makes sense. I guess that's something that you can do with them.
Yeah. We have another one from Kryptony. He said, "I've been watching since the beginning, guys. It's pronounced Kryptony."
Kryptony. Let's go, Kryptony.
Let me see. Make sure I don't have anything else.
Hong Passion Drive said, "Just a friendly heads up. OCBC is a bank from Singapore, not China." Yes, my apologies. Sorry about that, guys. That's completely my fault. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the heads up, guys. Please, always, if I ever make a factual error, I take that very seriously. Feel free to call me out, and I very much pray that my pride won't get in the way of apologizing for that. We also have one from Shadrack Frost.
Yep. He said, "I just want to say thank you to the whole team for all their hard work, efforts, and love. God bless."
Thank you so much, Shadrack. I really appreciate that, buddy.
Shadrack is also he's another OG. I mean, as long as I've been here, I remember some of the early days when I was first on the show. Looking at comments.
Shadrack's been in here for a minute.
Yes.
He has been here for a minute. Well, guys, we're about to jump into some Ethereum. We got some exciting things to talk about, but First and foremost, I want to tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Vincero. Vincero is a collective of a ton of different types of apparel. They've got watches, they've got eyewear, they've got lifestyle accessories, they've got hats. You're wearing one of them right now, Tim. It's a pretty dope-looking hat.
I am.
Take a look at this. This is one of the watches that I just got from them. It's a very, very good-looking watch. And a lot of people have given me a lot of compliments on it. And, you know, it's a funny story. The reason that we're working with Vincero is because of something that happened to me about 2 years ago. We're not just working with them because, oh, it's just another sponsor. The reason that I wanted to work with Vincero, we reached out to them, was because 2 years ago, I crashed a motorcycle. I crashed a motorcycle right on the watch that I was wearing, and it just so happened to be totally fine. Like, I wheelied a motorcycle. Anyone that's an OG, drop a 1 in chat if you remember me telling the story when it happened. Tim was not there, but he saw me that week.
The night after, I think, is when
the night after, something like that. I went to a big micro church thing, and I was like, I was very shooken up. I had a bad motorcycle crash, landed on both of my wrists upside down, landed about 20 miles an hour on my wrists and my knees, straight onto my watch, and I still wear it to this day. Barely even had a scratch on it. Landed right on asphalt. You know what I was wearing? I was wearing one of these. I was wearing a Vincero watch. They talk about how they're sapphire coated and they're indestructible. They are not kidding. That watch did not get crushed. It was totally fine, and I'm absolutely in love with the brand now. And whenever I wanted to get another watch, because I bought one for my brother for Christmas, which, by the way, he got a girlfriend with that watch. So if you want to get a girlfriend, I guess the watch helps with that. Whenever I had to reach out to their customer service because I needed to order, I forgot what it was. I reached out to customer service for some reason. The person that I talked to was the friendliest person in the world, and I said, you know what, I will always do business with this brand. And by the way, that was almost a year ago, last January, I think it was, before I ever had any business dealings with them. You guys know me. I take integrity very seriously. I'm only going to tell you what I believe. I really believe in this brand, and I love their watches. Tim's got one right now. Can you show the camera?
I do.
It's a good-looking watch, guys.
I do.
They believe in you. They're a small team based out of, I believe, San Diego over in California, and they've got everything that you might need for all of your different fashion needs. And you guys are going to be able to get 30% off. I believe it's 30% off site-wide right now because they have a Black Friday sale going on until November the 30th. So check out the link down below, VinceroCollective.com/crypto. Jebb, you guys are not going to be disappointed in the quality, and you're definitely not going to be disappointed in the fashion. They are fantastic looking watches, eyewear, and other apparel. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum. We've got a lot that we need to talk about there. Over on Ethereum, the first thing that I really want to do here is I really kind of want to just look at the overall trend lines, and then I want to look at Lux Algo. Right now, this market is in a giant ascending wedge, and it has been for pretty much the entire year. It broke out of this smaller ascending wedge a couple of days ago. We talked about how, hey, this is probably going to break bearish. It's probably going to go down to $4,000. I'm not trying to say I told you so. I'm just saying technical analysis works. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm patting people on the back who discovered this stuff over the last 100 years. This falling wedge broke bearish, and we found support down here at $4,000. And right now, it has basically come down and tested this long-term uptrending level of support. Personally, I was saying I think Ethereum needs to have a bit of a reckoning. I was saying that a week and a half ago. It's had it. I think Ethereum is pretty much at its bottom. And if we take a look here at Lux Algo on the daily chart, you can see that we're sitting here at the top of the EQ cloud. Now, worst case scenario, if Ethereum does need more movement to the downside, it does have a strong case that it could go down to 3650. Where is that coming from? It's coming from this flat level of resistance that we set back on September 17th and October 9th. And it is the middle of the EQ cloud right here. So that is potentially another low that we could see happen if we break these uptrending levels of support and our flat level of support right here. I am inclined to believe that the bottom is in for Ethereum. We're going to talk about whether or not it is here in a second. But at the moment, at least, I am actually pretty happy with the way this looks. And if we just take a look down here at Lux Oscillator, we can see that Lux Oscillator is pretty bearish. We can see that we're in a sell signal up here on the chart, and you can see that the trend catcher is red. Just take a look at that. Trend catcher's red, sell signal. That means we're in a confirmed downtrend. What do we mean? What do I mean when I say confirmed uptrend or downtrend? I just mean that there is a trend catcher that's the same color as the buy or sell signal, that's the same direction as the Lux Oscillator. Right now, Lux Oscillator is bearish. There's a sell signal. And then there's trend catcher. And by the way, take a look at this red dot over here. This said, hey, look, you should be looking for a top relatively soon. Came up like 2 weeks later. It was crazy. I love that. And then what we've seen is that we're in a confirmed downtrend. So the question now is, when does this confirmed uptrend start? Well, it's probably going to be several days from now at minimum. But when it does happen, it is going to be something that we are going to tell you guys about. If you haven't gotten Lux Algo, by the way, if you haven't been convinced yet, you might just not be an analyst, and in which case you might not need it. But if you're an analyst, you really need Lux Algo. I use it every day. It's invaluable. Whether or not they're a sponsor of this channel or not, I would use it every single day. Full stop, period. It's a great product. If we look down here to the 4-hourly chart, things start to look a little bit differently. There is currently a couple of higher lows coming in on Lux Oscillator. And remember what I said earlier about the green dot and the red dot that showed up on the daily chart? Well, the reason I brought that up is because I want to show you on the 4-hourly chart. There was a green dot on November 15th, and then there was a green dot again on November 17th. Both of those are saying, hey, look, the bottom isn't in yet, but it's probably close. That's basically what those green and red dots say. It's not here yet, but it's probably close. Be on the lookout for it. That's what it's trying to tell you. Well, on the 4-hourly chart, daily chart, still not bullish yet. 4-hourly chart, what are we seeing? Lux Oscillator is setting higher lows. You can see that trend catcher has turned green, and we went all the way down here into the reversal zones and bottomed out in them, which is very bullish. Now, all we need to see is a buy signal come in from the Lux Algo buy and sell signals. Remember what I said on Bitcoin, where we have 2 of 3 confirmations that we need on the 4-hourly and the 1-hourly chart, and we just need one more? The same thing is true on the 4-hourly chart here on Ethereum. We just need one more of those to confirm that we're moving into an uptrend. And a confirmed trend is going to have some inaccuracies, but for the most part, it is going to be pretty bullish. And by the way, I'm excited to announce that according to Lux Algo, we are now in a confirmed uptrend on the hourly chart for Ethereum. And we've had this happen once before, and again, like I said, they're not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you are going to have a confirmed uptrend, even using my strategy where it's not going to be accurate. It does happen, but generally speaking, it is going to be pretty accurate. We've seen a green dot come in on hourly chart. Trend catcher's moving to the upside. Lux Oscillator's moving to the upside. Trend catcher just turned green 2 hours ago, and we can see that there was a buy signal about 12, 13, 14 hours ago on Ethereum. We also saw a red X right here, which meant that you should be exiting your sell trade from this right here. Pretty much, and by the way, we are also getting above the EQ cloud down here on the hourly chart. Pretty much everything on the hourly chart is telling us, hey, we are probably entering an uptrend. And by the way, one final thing I'll say down here on the hourly chart is this. Whenever you do see a confirmation of a buy signal, and that's a big reversal, and you've seen all 3 of those confirmations. You've seen trend catcher, buy, sell signal, Lux Oscillator, then be looking for the EQ cloud to see if you breach through that. Right now, we've seen something different compared to this confirmed uptrend over here, where in this case, we didn't breach through the EQ cloud. In this case, we're very close to getting above the EQ cloud, which is our bullish territory. So, Tim, let's talk about whether or not we think that the market has bottomed out. Do you think that Ethereum has bottomed out?
It's so close. And I don't think so. And the reason why is, again, zooming out, because when in doubt, zoom out. And this still, just so you guys know, just because I'm not saying there's a bottom in just yet, this still gives me comfort. I go back and I anchor. One of my favorite things on this chart to help draw these lines, and this is, I'm not even going to take credit for this. I'm going to give this credit to Kelly for helping point this out. If you go to your line, Jebb, if you want to do this alongside of, while you're doing it, if you go to your line and you hit on the extended line, I love using the extended line because you'll be able to see where that line probably went and touched other things versus if you just use the trend line, you'll only catch what you say. If you use the ray, you'll only catch what you're going to look at moving forward. But I love using this extended line because when I drew my support level for Ethereum, I found actually if I tweaked it just a little bit, I could find a lot of support dating all the way back to the bottom we hit on the 13th, 14th of March back in 20. Then we rallied and touched and kind of rode right between September of 20 all the way through December of 2020. And then we came through and we touched again on July 21st. Looking at that line, it looks to me, we could, we're close to where I wouldn't be, just flabbergasted if we just went up. I just am looking, I'm saying we probably have, I don't know, we could go down to 39.15. We could move sideways, I guess, technically, and still drop below 4,000. I just think we're going to need to touch that line somewhere in the region between 3,900 and 4,000 is my prediction. Also, the other thing I was looking at on the daily chart, we have so it's a red color, but we call it a green 8, which means one more day of bearish before even the TD sequential is saying, boom, it's time to reverse and go up. But this is like the same as Bitcoin. I think that both of these are not quite there yet, but they are super close to their bottoms before a rally, and then they will explode and go keep moving on towards their not only new all-time highs, but up to where we're thinking they're going to get. I haven't even done Ethereum yet. I think Ethereum, I think we've said in the past 7,500, 8,000, maybe all the way to 10,000. That's to me is still looking like it's on track.
Oh
to
yeah,
do that.
into bull market price targets. I totally think so. All right, well, let's go ahead and run through our snapshot really quickly, guys. We got more altcoins to talk about. Oh my gosh, we do so many altcoins nowadays, and I love it. You guys are in love with these altcoins that we're doing. We're first going to look at Sand. You guys are all the time asking us about Sandbox, one of the big metaverse tokens. And I do want to mention, over the last 7 days, you can see some of the biggest gainers in the last 7 days are Sandbox. Number one is the biggest gainer. Number two, Decentraland, Mana. That is another metaverse project. The metaverse projects have been doing really well ever since October 28th, when Facebook announced that it would be rebranding to Meta. These metaverse projects have been exploding because all of a sudden everybody's talking about Meta, but Meta and metaverse. But you want to take a look over here at the daily chart. What are you seeing happen here? First thing that you're going to notice is that we are currently, we hit a 9 flash right over here, which my goodness, that is really strange. Have you ever seen the market do that? I think my TD sequential might be broken, so I'm not even going to look at it here on Sand. TD sequential is telling me that one entered I don't know what TD sequential is saying. Can you look at your Sandbox and see what your TD sequential is saying? My TD sequential, I think, is broken.
What's the ticker?
On Mana. We're looking at Mana. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I'm going to go ahead and close that out and look at it. By the way, guys, just a fun fact for you. Never just blindly trust your indicators. I'm really confused why there's a red right here with a 1. Anyway, the point is, Mana has had a gigantic run up.
You're on Sand.
I know. Oh. Did I say Mana? I meant to say Sand. I'm very sorry.
So just Sand?
Yeah, just Sand. We're going to look at Mana here in just a second. That's why I wanted to look at that. But we had this massive run up here, and then we've had another big run up here. The first thing I would like to point out is that this is what it looks like whenever you see a big rally start. You'll normally see one giant FOMO rally where you get the first wave. Then a lot of times there will be a second wave, and then sometimes there will be a third wave. That you can call that A, B, C, D, E. You can call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are a lot of different ways that you can name that. But the point is, a lot of times this second wave will be smaller. Right now we're sitting at $5 here on Mana. I keep saying Mana. On Sand, thank you very much. Sand is currently sitting all the way up here at plus 64% over the last 7 days. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Meta hype is kind of dying down. Everybody was talking about Meta for 3 weeks. I would be surprised to see it continue moving to the upside in the next couple of days. I think it probably will, but I think it's probably going to hold off just a little bit. And by the way, if you don't know what it is, I'll just read a little blurb here we have on it. It's an Ethereum-based blockchain project. It's a metaverse project on the Sandbox platform. Users can create their own virtual worlds, interact with others, and create digital assets like non-fungible tokens. So it is a very interesting project. I think it might need a little bit of time to consolidate. However, taking a look here at Mana, which is what I am trying to say for once, you can see, let's see if my TD sequential is glitching out here. No, TD sequential is fine. I don't know why TD sequential is glitching out on that one chart. We had this giant run up, and then we're still trading sideways. The point I want to make here on Mana and Sand, and the reason I'm bringing them up is because you guys keep asking about them. The point I want to make on both these projects is that both of these projects can be as great as they are, as great as they want to be, and I think they're good projects. The problem is, both of them are overextended. Maybe I shouldn't say overextended. I think both of them are going to do better, are going to do pretty well in the next several years, over the next several months and years. But the issue is, you're not getting a good deal. As I always tell you guys, you want to try and get a good deal on these projects. You want to try and get a good entry. Right now, you would be buying Mana at 400% above where it was a little while ago. Now, here's the thing. I'm talking to the trader when I say that. If you're looking to trade this, I think you're not getting a good deal and you want to be careful. If you're looking to invest in these projects, they are probably some of the next projects that are going to 1,000%. Just being honest with you, some of these projects are going to see probably just an insane amount of adoption over the next year or two, especially as Meta, Facebook's Facebook's rebranded name, starts to get even more headlines than it already has. These are probably good plays for the next 12 months, but if you're looking to trade these for the next 7 days, you might get lucky and they might go off like popcorn kernels, but you just want to be careful with that. Now, the last we're gonna look at really quickly here is Atom, otherwise known as Cosmos. You guys are also always asking about Cosmos, and we can go ahead and look at it over here on CoinMarketCap really quickly. Not Cosmos. Cosmos is sitting at number 36. It's currently trading at $28 and has a market capitalization of $6.3 billion. And as you can see, it's actually been doing pretty well on the price graph over the last 24 hours. Now, over the last several days and the last several weeks, the thing that jumps out at me here on Cosmos is that it was in a pretty large symmetrical triangle pattern, which you would have hoped was going to break to the upside, considering we were moving to the upside into it. And frankly, that would have been a very bullish thing for anybody in the Cosmos project because it had a price target of $69. Nice, but it has now broken to the downside and is currently looking for support. First support level that I am going to try and find is right here. I can see that support level did not hold. Let's see if I can find anything else. There's also a support level right there that it might try and hold, and then we also have a flat level of support sitting right here around $25. I think the bottom is probably pretty close on Atom, but I would need to see several days of uptrend and some confirmations through using something like Lux Algo before I got too confident on its bottom being in. With that said, we're going to move into our conclusion. Tim, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is a good one, coming straight from the T-Shroom's mouth. Would you rather get banned from crypto or never watch football ever again?
That's hard.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to lose your wife or your kid, basically, is that what that question is?
Oh, my gosh.
That's a rough question.
That is a doozy of a question. I am pass.
No, you can't pass.
I'm gonna pass.
You can't pass, Tim.
It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be banned from either.
That's not a pass. That's a fumble. You got to answer that. You got to take it for the touchdown, or for the all-time high in moonshot. I don't know. Which analogy you use kind of is going to shed light on your answer.
I don't know. How would one get banned from crypto?
I don't know. Well, while you ponder that, I'm going to ask Smay a similar question. Smay, would you rather get banned from crypto or never be able to watch basketball again?
I would rather get banned from crypto.
Oh, okay. He was very confident in that answer. Yeah. We see where his allegiance lies, huh, NBA?
Good amount of money. Like, would I get to at least cash out like before I go?
Let's make it interesting and say you're allowed to pull out only the principal that you put in. No gains, no losses.
That's still dumb.
No gains, no losses.
Well, that makes it way more
dumb.
difficult. I thought I was under the assumption that I get to keep my money.
Oh my gosh.
You don't get to keep any of the gains. You only get to pull out however many $1,000 you put in.
But you know, I will just say the evidence that that's not an easy guess, because a year ago, easily, football, that shows you how invested I am in crypto and what I'm doing brain-wise that I have to...
You have to think about that.
That's, yeah.
I mean, this is the first time in like
Monday.
Can you answer Monday? No.
I gotta pray about it.
You gotta pray about it.
Yeah.
It's that big. Okay.
It's that big.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. T-Shrum, what is something?
You're gonna make him crawl over here?
Yes, I'm gonna make him crawl over here because you asked the question. What is your favorite thing other than crypto?
All right, come on.
My favorite thing.
I'm gonna make you answer the question since it was your idea. And we're getting him a desk, by the way, soon. We're working on it.
Probably you, Crypto Jebb.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my goodness. Other than, I'm not even gonna entertain that. What is your favorite thing other than crypto?
Sitting in a dark room alone.
That's
doing anything. And
he's
I would
just
get
trying
That's a
to-
cop out.
He's trying
That is
to
a
go back to
freaking
your
cop
beanbag.
out.
No, go back
Yeah.
to
Go
your
back to your
beanbag.
beanbag. Get out of here.
Next question.
Go back to your
Next
beanbag.
question.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
You hired a smart analysis.
That's what you get.
No,
Oh my
he's
goodness.
good. I'm sending him back to the beanbag.
Oh my
That just
gosh.
delayed your desk by like a week.
Well, Tim, I got a great question for you here, and this is one that you asked me to ask you. So here we go. Hey, Tim.
Yes.
We are setting up for the worst weekly candlestick in over 6 months, which, by the way, is a true fact from Zay Frank. What do you think that means for the market? Is this something that we should be fearful about, or could this potentially be a bullish setup?
Literally, if a year ago, if you had said, Tim, we just had a massive red, we just lost a lot of money this week on the price, yada, 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 I would have been like, oh no, should I sell? But now I'm like, okay, with everything we know from the fundamental side, from the technical side, from the just daily advancement in the adoption of Bitcoin, to me, when I hear that, hey, we just had the worst weekly red candlestick in the last, 6 months or so, I'm like, oh, that's bullish.
Yep.
Because is that not the definition of oversold? Or, that is a great buying opportunity. So I actually look at that when, I think people have tried to spread that FUD and you use articles to scare people out of the market. But if you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, you're like, no, that red candlestick is awesome because that just means I get to buy in more.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and read some of our super chats. Make sure we get all those read.
Yeah, we do have one question. I'm going to go back up. He was asking, oh man, what did he say? I want to get it specifically what he asked, so I'm just going back up. It was just a chat. So that is why I do not remember the words. Oh, man.
Oh, hey, Crypto Keeper's in chat. He said,
Oh.
smash the likes and invest in yourself by purchasing CT2A. Definitely. And guys, make sure to go follow the Crypto Keeper and Debate Crypto on YouTube. Definitely a rising star on social media. And his TikTok's pretty huge. So make sure to follow the Crypto Keeper on TikTok.
Dr. Crypto asks, could you ask Jebb what his thoughts are about the Bitcoin futures that will expire next week?
I need to look into that more because I don't know off the top of my head where those futures are weighted. But we will be covering that next week because we like to cover those every single month as they come up. So be watching out for content coming up on that next week. Like I said, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay, sounds good. We got a lot of super chats. Actually, we do have a new Jebb Youngling.
Woo!
Oof.
Let's go, Tim.
I'm gonna mispronounce this on purpose, and people can figure out why.
But before you answer, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have one Bitcoin? Sorry, let's say, would you rather have a quarter of a Bitcoin or the ability to perfectly pronounce every single name so you're not embarrassed in front of thousands of people?
Oh, a quarter of Bitcoin. I don't care if I mess
was
up
like
names.
crap. Yeah,
I don't get my feelings hurt that easily. All right, VS Mud. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly because there's a wordy dirty in there. But welcome to
dirty wordy.
Jebb Younglings. We're gonna keep moving on though.
Okay.
Harshith Velchetti. Fave Car FRM Strad Fleet. I feel like I can't even
the
pronounce
Strad
the words
man.
in
I
this.
know who you're talking about. And thoughts on daily driven exotics, dream car? I know exactly who you're talking about because I used to be really big into supercars.
I think it's a V12 because you follow Ferrari and Lamborghini. Didn't you get to know about Vincero from M?
I didn't actually learn about Vincero from them. I learned about Vincero because I was looking for a dope watch because I wanted to commemorate moving out of my house back when I was moving out on my own, and I found a Vincero watch and I bought it, and then I ended up loving it after I crashed a motorcycle on it. I was like, whoa, I love this thing. And then that watch means the world to me now because it represents humility to me, actually, because when I wheelied that motorcycle, it wasn't an accident. It was me being stupid is what it was. And that's why I talk so much about humility and, not getting ahead of yourself because, yeah, I hurt myself, but more importantly, I hurt people around me when I did something like that.
Here's another one. I'm not sure if if the last part of this name is the actual name or if they're trying to sneak something in. Syrinx Aruanus. I'm going to say
There you go.
Unus instead of the other one. Hey, what do you think about M Content Chart? They just signed a huge deal with the Insight TV and are coming with an ETH bridge next month.
I haven't looked
I don't
at
know
it.
if we know
Sorry,
that
man.
one. Gabby TC said, okay, wait, I think we already read that one. Talking about the RSI support line. So yeah, we read that one. Murray Ruggiero. ETH is starting to recover a lot faster than Bitcoin. People talk about the flippening. Is the flippening actually possible long term in your opinion?
It's absolutely possible. I think if it does happen, it's going to be a long time from now, but it definitely is possible.
Jay Hollis said THETA's main goal is to fix the world broadband and become the cheapest CDN provider. FYI, it's not just a video streaming service.
You're right. Yeah, there is more to it than that. That's accurate.
Do we have time for any more? Or?
Wait, let's go ahead and finish them. Yeah, we'll be.
Well, there's one more that I see at least.
There's
and there
Dunder
might be
Van
some...
Zant. He said, "Talk to me, Tim. Are we going back to $3 on Cardano this year?"
Yeah, so he asked that earlier, and the answer is yes. And the reason why is because even though I've seen people have not liked my bearish predictions on Bitcoin and Ethereum over the next couple of days, but I am very bullish after it goes down a little bit.
Yeah.
And December is going to be a great month. And again, I think if you're just hoping for $3 on Cardano, I think you're undercutting yourself. I think it's going to go a lot higher than that.
Can I ask a question real quick, actually?
What's up?
I would like to ask, because I remember this being something that we talked about a couple months ago when everyone was giving their end-of-year Bitcoin predictions. What is your current end-of-year Bitcoin prediction? Just because I want to see if because of the new bearish movements, if that's changed or not.
Tim, let's start with you.
What are my end-of-year Bitcoin predictions?
Yeah, end-of-year Bitcoin prediction.
It's good. I mean, I think what I said before is on the low end, right around 85, 90, on the high end, 120. So let's cut that right in the middle and go somewhere around 100, 105, somewhere in there.
I'll say around 80 to 90. That's where I think
Really?
it's going to be. Yeah.
Okay, because I just want to note that my original prediction was that I thought we were going to top out around 75, 80.
Okay.
So I think we're
Good to
on
remember.
pace for that. So
Yeah.
that's why I was just wanted to know. Everyone was saying that I was a bear, but I almost right.
Boom soft.
It's looking like it's
you
heading
go.
that way.
Well, guys, we have an announcement before we finish, and this is really cool. You guys know that I did an interview last week, and you should definitely go and watch that on the channel if you haven't already, with an amazing gentleman, the founder of Mojo Heads NFTs, and he is actually giving us 6 NFTs to give away. And we're going to be giving away 2 NFTs every single month for the next 3 months. And you can figure out how to get entered to win by clicking the link in the description box down below. It says NFT giveaway. And if you jump onto my screen, it's going to look like this over here. It's over on gleam.io. You guys have probably used this before for giveaways. This is an actual official Crypto Jebb giveaway. We are not going to WhatsApp you. We are not going to ask for you to send Bitcoin to us. That's not how this works. The way that you do enter this is by official links in our official video description. So please do not get scammed with this. This is going to make me very sad if we are not able to do actual giveaways. The ways that you can enter, as far as I'm aware right now, our marketing team set this up, is you guys have to follow us on Twitter. That'll get you 3 entries. You can also visit and like our Facebook page. I think that's going to give you 2 points. And there's going to be several other ways that you guys can get entered to win these NFTs. And by the way, guys, these NFTs mint price is 0.15 Ethereum, and they're likely going to be going for a lot more than that. So we're talking about like $1,000 plus NFTs here. We're not talking about some like $20 NFT. These are really, really cool. And if you guys haven't looked at Mojo Heads, you can go to mojoheads.com and you can get more information on this over here. And also, let me go ahead and just show you, Mojo Heads has a bunch of really, really cool NFTs coming out, helping to support a lot of artists. They're launching in like an hour and a half. And when they do, we are going to be participating in some of their giveaways. Also, make sure to follow at Mojo Moby over on Twitter. He is the fine, fine gentleman who I interviewed just a few days ago. A lot of really cool stuff coming out about this, guys. If you want to learn more, we did have an interview with him that went out on the channel a little while ago. They are launching today, so make sure you check out mojoheads.com for their NFTs. We're not sponsored by them. I'm just a big fan of Rick Moby and Mojo Heads and Moby Heads and everything that they're doing, and he wanted to bless the channel with a big giveaway. Many thousands of dollars worth of NFTs we're giving away, guys, and these are going to be very valuable. There is a lot of support behind these NFTs, so make sure to check them out down below. Completely free giveaway, no catch, just something that we wanted to do to help support the channel. So like I said, check that link in the description box down below. Here in 65 minutes, that is going to be going live at noon Eastern time. This will be getting started, so check that link out down below. Tim, what do you think about NFTs? Let's ask that final question, then we'll wrap it out.
I want to own one that has Smay on a ladder.
That's a good point. I want a Smay on a ladder NFT. Well, now we know one of the leading NFT creators in the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem, so maybe we can have that.
Make it happen.
Maybe we can make that happen. Well, guys, that is all we got for you today. Before we go, I just want to tell you, you did great this week. I'm happy. I'm happy that you were able to tune in. I'm very proud of you if nobody's told you that recently. I'm very thankful that you're here. We're all very much rooting for you to be successful in cryptocurrency. If you're scared, don't be. This is all part of the ride. Whatever you're going through right now, I pray that it is going to, you're going to learn from it, and that you're going to be better for it. And I just, I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I'm really looking forward to coming back on Monday and jumping right back into some Bitcoin technicals. Tell us in the comments and in the chat if there's any way that we can serve you, and make sure to go and follow us on our social medias, and make sure you do it through the giveaway, because that will be helping to get you entries to win these new NFTs. They're really cool. They look awesome. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good